Oh, it's working now. Oh, it's about to create like an endless echo. Yo! We are live. Oh, how's everyone doing? You're all probably wondering, this isn't Seth Rogen or the guy who looks like him. I'm the other guy. The one who makes all the on-screen magic happen. The real Donkey Kong fan, you know, because Michael's, he's actually the Diddy Kong guy, funny enough. I'm the one who's obsessed with Donkey Kong, so, you know, fraud confirmed? Question mark?
Well, we realized that playing Mario Kart, because, you know, they didn't put any DK characters in that dang game. My whole life, I've been playing, you know, Matthew will usually pick Donkey Kong, and then what am I supposed to do?
Not usually. Always. I mean, you know, I'm just, what can I say? I'm a man who's obsessed with a drink that wears a tie. Oh, we probably got to pull up our comments, don't we? You got the comments pulled up?
Yeah. Alright. All messages. Why does it just show top messages? That's dumb.
I think those might be all the messages.
We switch account to the KK. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into it. What are we thinking is going to happen here? I have bold predictions that might make me look dumb at the end of this. I think we're getting K-Rool. I think we're getting Diddy. I think we're getting Amiibo. And I think we're getting
I think we're getting Dixie Kong.
I think Goku's going to be there with SpongeBob and Shrek.
No, so I wanted to point something out that I thought was interesting, just looking at this display that everyone sees, you know, as we're waiting for this Direct. So as you see on the Direct logo that they made, the Lost World colors are also present on the bottom of that. I thought that was interesting, but I just think it's also funny that, you know, it could just be that they're trying to keep the lighting effects looking consistent. But I think it's interesting because I feel like they almost want people to.
It's that same blue and purple.
Point, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it could just be that, okay, the lighting's hitting the bottom of the Bananza logo, so it wouldn't really make sense if it wasn't hitting the Direct logo as well, but just the fact that they cared to even do that, because they didn't even have to make the Direct part look like it was part of the logo. They could have just put the word Direct there, and nobody would have cared, so.
Yeah. This is also the most, the most, like, ambitious Direct logo that we've ever seen from Nintendo. I mean, I just feel like I need to point that out.
Better than a general Nintendo Direct, everyone.
Yeah.
Also,
we're eating. I almost wanted to wear a suit today. So, but
also,
you know, I don't own a suit.
If you guys
check out the Funky Fit.
Check out the Funky Fit.
Not available at Universal Studios because they only have pictures of DK and Diddy.
Yeah, your boy over here made it for himself.
Merch has a problem. We need more like subtle and cool merch instead of like, you know, woohoo, it's the characters and the logos. Yeah, so check looking at some of these chats.
Oh, I wanted to say, someone said, what if the camera pans down for where the light reflection is coming from? Yo, we jump straight into the Lost Worlds? My boy.
Straight into the Lost World.
Crazy. Are we, the sound's they're gonna be able to hear the sound, right? On the video?
Yeah, that's the Elgato, the Delgado sound. I mean, this is my first live stream. You might want to have a second tab ready to go. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Or I mean, you know, it's the first live stream on this channel, but I'm awful at live streaming. It's just, you know,
hey,
it's a thing.
29 people though. We love to see it. Thank you so much.
We love to see it. Yeah, someone was saying, you know what we think, Crocodile. Dude, Crocs. That's all I gotta say. It's got to happen.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, we didn't post our full reaction to the first trailer. We posted kind of like an edited version of it. But, I'm like a super... Like, I mean, Donkey Kong is far and away my favorite game series. He's far and away my favorite character. But I'm more of like the Rareware era guy. So when we saw the first trailer and it looked like the second coming of Jungle Beat, as far as like, the enemies are generic monkeys. There doesn't seem to be any of the returning characters. And my biggest thing at the time was, it looks like there's going to be no Kremlings. So I was really taken aback by the first trailer. Like, I was excited because, 3D Donkey Kong, first time in, 26 years? Something like that. But just, looking like they, just wanted to go in that weird direction again. Just, it was, it had me really nervous. So, it's been really cool to see all the signs that are pointing to seeing like they're going to reference a lot of the Rareware era stuff. In this game. Yeah,
someone earlier, Ale was saying demo right after the direct. That would be sick. But I don't know if they're going to do it. The thing with demos is you don't really gain... There's not a whole lot of upside. There's these ancient YouTubers who did a video way back in the day with that and like kind of broke it down. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. Like, let's say you play the game and you don't like it. Well, then you're not going to buy it. Let's say you play the game and you like it, but you've kind of had your fill. Like the demo was an hour long, and you got you kind of got what you were looking for, and you don't buy it. There's like so many scenarios where like you don't buy the game. And I feel like it kind of outweighs the one where you try it and then you love it and then you got to play it. Outside of these, like, you're at a kiosk in Target, it might show up there. And if that's the case, I'm going to be that weird guy who's like, hey guys, I'm at the Target.
Yeah, honestly,
ruining everybody's day.
It looks like it looks like my mic might be off. Is it like off all the way? No, it looks like it's hitting on there anyway, on the sound bar.
Maybe he means off, like not sounding.
I don't know. I mean,
oh wait, yeah. Hold on.
Clarify, Zach.
Hold on a second. I got it.
Oh. Michael sounds way more crisp / beefy. Can't confirm on the beefy part. Whatever that means.
Okay. Try now.
How do I sound now? Crispy / beefy? Everyone? 39 people tuning in. Yo, we love that. What's funny is, and hopefully the crispy beefy effect is kicked in for my mic, but
you were in the wrong input. You were in the boom mic input.
He's trying to sabotage me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really cool to see that there's so many people that just have an interest in seeing more Donkey Kong content. When I talked to Michael and we talked about starting this channel, it's just because it's probably our favorite game series of all time. And it's just funny when you go on YouTube, there's not really a lot of Donkey Kong offerings. Most of the time when you hear people talk about Donkey Kong on YouTube, it's, in the form of like a channel that just talks about anything video games or anything Nintendo. And, it's always just weird to me because I feel like Donkey Kong is one of the biggest game series, or one of Nintendo's biggest franchises. I know in the last 10 years it hasn't so much been, but, if you grew up in the 90s like us, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, agreed. Jer Rarebear, thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate that. He says, hey, bros, I appreciate all the content. No matter what gets revealed, I feel like us DK fans won. We are really at the beginning of a new era. We surely are.
Yeah.
And it's so refreshing to see that they're doing literally anything to, like, reference the rare thing. I was talking with Al, sort of called us the DK crew, but we got a little Discord where we've been working on some of these videos together, and we were talking about the whole Smash effect and how some people were saying that K. Rool is kind of like this character that wouldn't be anything without Smash, and it's like, yeah, yes and no. Like, K. Rool's like really popular, that's why they put him in Smash in order to like market and sell the game, but also like Smash proved to Nintendo that K. Rool is an important character, because you could have seen them just doing their whole thing of like, oh, now there's Sumo, we're gonna bring Sumo Kong back, But yeah, this, but you know, regardless, even if this game didn't have Diddy Kong or didn't have K. Rool, I know that like eventually those characters are coming back in some form. So like, I'm not gonna sweat it too hard. I'm still gonna enjoy the game, but yeah. I don't know. I'm not even imagining that scenario because there's just too much. There's too much of the evidence. I gotta. I put up a whole playlist if you want to see all my crazy ideas.
Yeah, and I'll say honestly, I think there's a lot of evidence. I think the Kremlin campaigner may have mentioned it at one point in time, but I think that there's a good chance K. Rool might have even outright won the Smash ballot that they did. So, like you said, I think it proved to Nintendo that, man, there is so much demand and interest in this character. You know, so I think they'd be crazy not to use him in some capacity.
Yeah, the only real question is, was this too far along in the development at the time where they realized that? I think probably not.
Because the Smash ballot was like back. You remember they did the K. Rool?
Yeah, well, they had the ballot and then they had the trailer reaction. I think the trailer reaction probably solidified it.
I think the Mii costume in Smash 4 as DLC was them letting you know, okay, we hear you.
Julian VQ's talking about hoping the Snowmad King. It feels weird that there's that they're gonna reference all the rare stuff. It'll feel weird if they then don't reference Jungle Beat or the retro games, or, you know, let's be honest, the deepest, most lore-filled game, Donkey Kong Jungle Climber, where the Kongs do interplanetary travel.
It's 9, by the way, so...
It's 9, it's go time, baby. Streaming this on a PlayStation, because I don't know if Nintendo has the YouTube app yet.
That means it's not going to work.
Zananab incoming. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Hey, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, listen.
All right, here we go. E10 plus. You know, the kids can't handle this.
Cruel?
Is this more Calliope?
Cruel?
Why is it like a memory? This game hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah. You heard it, though, right? Cruel? Come on, man. It'd be cruel if he wasn't in the game at this point.
DK, look, it's King K. Rool. I like Odd Rock. You know, there's the whole spoiler thing, but I'm like, dude, I don't know if...
Yeah.
Oh, it's quiet. Hold on, let me adjust it.
Shh. What are you doing?
They're saying the volume was quiet.
Oh, sorry. We're working on it. Oh, it's Pauline.
Golden Bananas, the discovery of the century, made right here on Ingot Isle. This is excellent news for #1 banana fan, Donkey
Okay, they're
Kong.
going with the weird angle.
However, just as he's about to enjoy the notable bananas, a sudden tempest sends him deep down underground. As his adventure begins, DK teams up with Odd Rock, but
They said it's better now,
it's
so
no rock
thank
at
you.
all.
Thank you for
It's
letting us know.
actually a talented young singer named Pauline.
What?
Yeah, I
Now,
guess you missed
Donkey
that.
Kong just wants bananas.
It's Paul. It's literally Pauline.
wants to find
Yeah,
a
they
way
said
back
that.
home
Okay.
to
Yeah,
surface.
well,
It's
I was over there
said that
adjusting
one's wish will be
volume.
granted by reaching the planet core. So the unlikely duo set off on a strange subterranean adventure. The story
If this
takes
is the
place in
VTuber, I'm gonna
underground
freak
world,
out. That'll be so
where the
funny.
Scenery changes the deeper you go. Some layers are so spectacular that it's hard to believe you're underground. DK
I
can
hope there's
run
levels they haven't shown us yet. I mean, I'm sure there are, but
Yeah.
and climb
Also,
through each environment.
I hope Diddy Kong
Using his
plays the
incredible
role of
physical
where Pauline
prowess,
is at
you
some
can freely
point,
move in
assuming
any
he's in the
direction.
game.
But that's not all.
Dude, look at this movement.
Almost anything in your
And this is
path,
like the
you can
vanilla
smash,
Nintendo demo.
crash, and bash.
Man,
You can even do
and people
this
thought our
to a
boulder theory
massive
was
rock
funny,
formation.
but
You know,
I mean, they
if you
basically did it with Pauline.
As you barrel through obstacles
Yeah.
in your path, you'll also collect golden bananas known as
To an extent,
Bananium
obviously.
gems.
And you got to think if they're
Banana.
revealing Pauline this
Oh, those
early, what else do they have? Yeah, it seems like his fur color changes when he gets more Banandium.
Punch.
Punch?
Smash enemies. Walls. The ground. And most things you can get your hands on with incredible force. Destruction can lead to discoveries. So set off a chain reaction and see what
Wait,
happens.
you just got. I kind of like Odd Rock.
Yeah, I know.
I kind of like Odd Rock.
Yeah.
Pauline's cool too, but like, they created this whole character and they're like, no.
Yeah. No,
It was like, it was so cute.
Roll forward.
Yeah.
Roll
I did
high
like
speed,
Odd Rock
send
too,
lighter
a little
objects
bit.
Soaring.
Dude.
Combine this with punches and jumps to really
Oh,
mix things up.
You roll and then punch.
Hand
That's
slap. Make
interesting.
some noise to collect scattered items.
This in a platformer, like this hand clapping move in
You can
DK64
even use your feet when your
would have
hands are
changed some
occupied.
things.
Tear off. Grab a chunk of terrain and tear it off. Or tear up turnips to find items. And even tear chunks off.
It's funny,
your
like pretty
clothes.
much.
Nice.
I feel like they're definitely
Sweet.
building towards something because pretty much
Grab a
everything
chunk
we've seen
and
so
swing
far. I
it to
mean, we've
attack.
basically seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Harder chunks
Even
can
like
be
from
used
the
to break
levels.
stone with ease. Or smash spiky thorns. Chunk jump.
I'm all about that chunk
Use a
jump.
chunk to
You know
double
about all about that chunk
This
jump.
will help you reach new heights. Throw. Throw a chunk.
Throw a chunk.
Or aim at a target like this.
You know I be
Throwing
chunking.
a boom rock or gold can have explosive effects. If you throw chunks made of softer material, you can stick them to a surface and pile them up.
What?
Dude, we can build a statue of King K. Rool in this game if he's
I
not
love
in.
This lets you
I love how they were
pile
building
chunks.
something just to do like nothing with it.
Chug
Speed
jump
up
with
and
you.
aim for smaller enemies to knock
Chug
them
Jug
away.
remix?
Make music.
What is that, Fortnite?
The power of Pauline's singing.
I think it was like a
Show you the
Kanye
way.
West song or something.
No, but isn't Chug
can
Jug?
also
Yeah,
a thing?
yeah.
Strange seals that some
Chug Jug with you is a.
behind.
Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
You never know what you'll discover.
That's just
in the
Chunk
underground
Jump,
world.
not Chug Jug. Ramby, I saw him! Did you see him?
I didn't see him.
He's got the
So
more
carve
of the
your
rare
own
design.
path with DK's abilities.
Dude. People were like, oh, you just smashed with the level design. They're like, no, you gotta imagine they thought about that while they were making the game.
The many layers of the underground world are host to a variety of inhabitants.
It's totally espresso.
Some
It's
are
espresso
mysterious
species.
and aren't too bothered by DK's destructive tendencies. It
There
looks
he
like
is,
Cranky
yeah.
Kong and his
Nice.
companion Ramby are also venturing through the layers of the world. Then there are the giant elders who call the underground world home.
Oh, there's
They're
one
said
for each
to
animal.
possess ancient Bananza
Oh, that's cool.
powers. By learning their Bananza powers, Pauline's singing can do something special.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, the singing angle is kind of weird to me.
She can make Donkey Kong transform
What is this?
with incredible destructive power. Even
That boy
hard
turned
terrain
Super
poses
Saiyan.
No problem. Plow through
Yeah, I
the
feel like
world,
this is.
smash
I mean,
as
this
much
is
as
neat,
possible
but it's
with the
kind of weird at the same time.
Kong
I'm about it.
Bonanza.
That's
DK
crazy.
can transform into a zebra. He's as speedy as he is striped.
Okay, now
He
it's
can even
weird.
breeze over water or crumbling pathways. That's the swift zebra bonanza. Oh, yeah,
Dude.
he can also turn into an ostrich.
Yeah,
Spread your wings
Yeah, that one's
and
good.
soar through the
Okay,
sky.
funny
so
thing is
no
ostrich-
animal buddies, but you are the animal buddy.
You can
It's
use
funny because
upgrades
ostriches
to
King
are.
Mega Evolution confirmed.
They're
drop egg bombs
ostriches
from great
can't
heights to
fly.
send enemies scattering.
Is what's funny.
That's
They're
right,
flightless
it's
birds.
Ostrich bonanza.
Not this one.
Yeah.
Bonanza transformations don't last forever, though. You can transform again by collecting gold to build up your Bananergy.
Okay, so that's the point of the gold. Bananergy.
Nice. It's funny how they keep showing him
You're
like
not
almost
limited to when or
exclusively
where
in the
you transform,
overalls. Like I
and you can
wonder
swap
why that
between
is.
transformations.
I think
So
because they're
get
still in the
creative
demo
and
phase.
use them as you adventure
They're gonna
to the
talk about
planet Kobe.
outfits later. because there is a
Standing in
style
our
shop,
hero's way
I think.
is the Void Company, the mightiest mining operation both above ground and below. Grumpy Kong works to
Grumpy
create
Kong.
gigantic corporate soldiers. Poppy Kong is responsible for subterranean info gathering, while Void Kong is in charge of the whole company. This nefarious crew is responsible for the banana-stealing maelstrom on
That
Ingot
laugh
Island.
track is still in there.
They're heading straight down to the planet core.
The planet core? But no! I'm going with DK, so you just stay away!
Voidco blocked off all the routes to the lower layers, so no one could reach them. DK and his pals will come face to face with the enemies guarding these routes. So use all the power at your disposal to take on a host of powerful foes. By defeating them, giant sinkholes will open, clearing a path to the lower layers of the underground world.
Yeah, I'm waiting to. I mean, also,
Zach's saying you can turn into Kremlin Kong. It's got to be
Found
there.
throughout the underground world are golden bananas called banana.
yeah, and also
gems.
like they might not reveal K. Rool in this. I mean, I think it'd be
They're
weird not
always
to
visible,
advertise the game with him if he's in
Sometimes
it,
they're buried
but
in the walls, the ground,
Jungle
and
Hijinks
other
remix.
places. There are a whole bunch to find. You can also obtain these gems by completing challenges in the ruins found throughout your adventure.
Let's do this!
Challenges include time-limited battles,
And we got like 5 minutes left. Come on, Nintendo.
courses where you'll need clever solutions, side-scrolling
Nice.
stages,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
more.
cool. Bramble level.
Keep your eyes peeled to find the Banandium gems.
Oh, that's sick.
There are plenty of ruins to discover.
DK
so
arcade
give them
reference.
a
Let's go,
try.
baby.
So I wonder if that Jungle
That's
Hijinks
nutty.
area we saw is just like one of those challenges
Look, it's
instead of a level.
I love Super Saiyan 3 Donkey Kong.
As
Skill
you collect Banandium gems, you'll gain
We got skill points. What is this?
These can be
Skyrim?
used to increase stats such as your max health or the destructive power of your punches. Power up Donkey Kong to match your playstyle. For
Nice.
example, if you strengthen your sonar, you'll be able to detect treasure from
Yeah, I'm gonna go
further
for
away,
sonar.
which could lead to new discoveries. Or use skill points to learn new skills.
Surf.
There are all sorts of items to find as you explore. Banandium chips are shaped like slices of banana. And they can be
Where's the
traded for
K-roll?
Banandium gems at
I
the chip
agree.
exchange. These gold nuggets are, unsurprisingly, called gold. You can exchange gold for useful items at the stuff shop.
Bananas.
There
Or
are
not,
fossils
balloons.
too.
Good one!
You can trade these for different fashions at local style shops. Just open the closet and customize the perfect fits for Donkey Kong and Pauline.
You can change his tie. That seems wrong.
Or even change up your fur color.
Oh,
Look,
no,
it's too
it's-
much for Donkey Kong or too little. Almost every article of clothing comes with its own benefits. So mix
Oh.
and match your look to suit the situation.
But I don't want to change outfits.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I just want to be normal Donkey Kong.
If you find a treasure chest buried in the ground, crack it open, and you might receive a treasure map showing the location of Banandium gems or fossils. Their locations will be marked on your map. Pretty helpful for finding collectibles. You can also see which fossils and Banandium gems you've collected, making it easy to see how close you are to completion. There's plenty more to do in the underground world when not adventuring. Need a rest? Carve out a space and enjoy a getaway where you can recover in bed. And enjoy listening to tunes with the music player. You might even find new discs
What was
when
that
defeating
song?
enemies.
It sounds like the DK rap. There it is.
To
Oh, yeah.
moving between layers, subterranean eels have your back. These elevators will help you easily move.
Hopefully
between
Grant
layers you
Kirkhope got
visited
credit
at
this
any
time.
Yeah.
And if you get
Jeez.
lost, no need to worry. You can always teleport within the layer you're currently
Teleport?
Teleport there?
I love this fish.
Yeah. It's totally like the Journey to the
In
West
photo
thing.
mode, you can freely change the in-game camera angle and adjust other settings to snap pics.
Yeah, this is super Odyssey
Your
coded.
photo like this or that.
What, with the photo mode?
Unleash your inner
No,
self
Oh,
just
he looks like Lanky
in
Kong
general.
there.
own captivating
Make him
scenes.
orange with the overalls.
By sharing a Joy-Con 2 controller or using
Oh, here we
a
go.
second set, you and a pal can control Donkey Kong and Pauline separately to buddy up in local co-op play. As Pauline, you can unleash vocal blasts using Joy-Con 2 mouse controls.
What?
You can also copy the material of nearby terrain to give your vocals even
Oh,
more
it's
texture.
9:14.
This is gonna be weird.
They
This is
gotta
gonna be
give us.
weird.
Come on, man. They
Together,
gotta end
even
with something
tough
cool.
enemies don't stand a chance.
That's interesting. It's like a whole different game.
This game also supports game share.
Oh.
Even if only one player has the game, they can quickly share it to another player so they can join on their own system.
That's
It
neat.
can
Yeah.
also be shared locally to a Nintendo Switch system.
Wow.
Oh, dude,
Plus, you
sick.
can play online
What?
between Nintendo Switch 2 systems using Game Share via Game Chat. If you need a little help with all the platforming
Pauline's
action,
with speedrun.
assist mode is the way to play.
Did they say it was
It
only
guides you in the
15
right
minutes or
direction.
Approximately.
About? Oh. Because it's 9:15.
They gotta
right
end
now.
with something. They're not gonna be just like.
Assist
I mean, they
mode
might
supports
be.
you
They
in
might
your
still have
adventure
another
to be the
trailer.
They might just
best
be
Kong
like,
you can be.
Get Donkey Kong
Outside
Bananza
of the
on
main
June
game,
17th.
There's a mode where you can carve stone using mouse controls called DK Artist.
This really is the quintessential Switch 2 game. That's awesome. Like even Mario Kart like really doesn't have that many like Switch 2 specific features, but this is like the whole thing. Let's go, baby. I cannot imagine the amount of goofy memes. I'm gonna
You can
make
even
Bluster
change
Kong
the
in this.
lighting and add delectable banana effects. Give it a try.
Yeah, that
and
would be
sculpt to your
hilarious.
heart's content.
Bowser.
That's so funny.
This game
Let's
also
go.
supports amiibo accessories.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
A
Give me
new
Amiibo.
Donkey Kong and
Yes!
Amiibo figure is also on the
Okay, I got 1 out of 3
Scanning
predictions
unlocks
right.
Pauline's diva dress. By scanning the Donkey Kong series amiibo
Ah.
shown here, gold Kong tiles with explosive
Oh.
power will appear.
Diddy Kong. There he
I
is.
see him, and
Diddy and
Kong.
Dixie. Okay.
Released up to this point
2/3
is
right.
also compatible.
He looked like old Diddy Kong though. He
If you
didn't even
scan
look
them,
like the new
you'll
one. I
get
don't think.
Giant spheres like these.
They would just drop Diddy Kong like that. Like, yeah, Diddy Kong's in. All right, here we go. Here we go.
CK? I love to sing more than anything.
My gosh.
I have this dream. Maybe if we get to the surface, you and me, we can make it more than a dream. We're breaking through, down to the heart, no stopping us, not any. Get him, DK, inside the zone. I found the key, got me right out.
Join the powerful Donkey Kong and the talented singer Pauline as they set out on an adventure to the fabled planet Core.
All right, are we getting like a tease? Oh, dude, what is that?
My own special power?
So they're still holding back a lot on like information.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong
Oh, no.
Bananza. Available July 17th only on Nintendo Switch 2. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop. The Donkey Kong and Pauline amiibo will also be available July 17th.
I'm all over that. Well. That is a bit surprising.
Yeah.
I'm just like, because they're still like holding back. They didn't explain at all like what Diddy Kong does. It seemed like that was some sort of like racing mode or something, right, to compete
Yeah.
with them. You say you swear K. Rool isn't there. Where's K. Yeah. It seems like they're still holding back a little bit, which is weird because like we've only got a month. But there could be some other trailer drop where it's like there's something that's happening.
I mean that definitely seemed like I don't know, kind of like I don't know. It just feels like they were just explaining like the techniques and some of those things. Like I don't know. It doesn't even feel like we really learned much more about the game in general. And like the fact that they didn't explain Diddy Kong or didn't introduce Diddy Kong at all, Dixie Kong, any of those things, and what their role in the game is or any of that stuff, I thought that was a little strange. But what are you doing?
Own special power?
Honestly, the Pauline angle is like, if I'm being honest, it's pretty weird. Like I don't know. It. There's a part of me that feels like it would just be cooler if it was just like Diddy or something, which I know is what they've done before, but it's just I don't really get it personally. But if you don't agree with me, that's okay.
I mean, I think they're trying. Like, if I had to guess, I'd say they're probably trying to kind of like conjoin the Rare fans with the other ones. Where did Diddy show up again?
It was like you just played you played it and then you got up.
It was like that last like sizzle reel thing.
You talking about on Ramby? Yeah, it was like, they showed him here. But yeah, that's why I feel like it almost feels like they're trying really hard not to spoil stuff that's in this game.
Yeah, and like, why is Pauline so small? I mean, my guess would be Nintendo doesn't care about continuity, and she's just small because like she needs to be for this game because she's too big as an adult. But there might be some kind of story reason. I mean, it seems like this is some kind of Odyssey prequel sort of thing, but yeah, that's this is funny to watch it like half speed. But I'm just curious, like, what are we? Like we're still so there's a lot of unanswered questions. Like that in particular, that specific terrain looks very croc coded.
Yeah. Also, they didn't talk about the crocoids at all. I feel like that's almost or like deliberate, because I feel like why wouldn't they explain just the enemies that you see like littered throughout
and I mean like
at all?
Like there could be they could honestly. I mean, like, here's the thing. Okay, so that's the Diddy Kong thing. Yeah, Diddy Kong doesn't look different at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, like seeing Diddy, I'm like, are we still being like held back on? The other thing is like he's trying to get to the planet's core. What is at the planet's core? Is it I don't know if I can like mute this, but it's like what is at the planet's core? Is it going to be K. Rool? And they're just gonna like save it for us like that for that long? It's possible. So we won't know for sure until we play through the game and finish it.
Listen, I'm sure there's people like you guys are coping, like, and honestly, we may be, but I just think that trailer or this presentation feels like we didn't really get much information from it other than the Pauline angle.
Well, we got all the gameplay stuff, but
yeah, exactly. It's just like
we know Pauline's
here's
involved.
All the techniques, here's all the transformations, but they didn't really, introduce any characters to us. And we know Ramby's in the game, or we've seen his model now, even though we knew he was in the game through text.
Yeah, we just keep casually dropping stuff like, "Oh yeah, Ramby's in the game." And just like, dude, you're just, "Oh yeah, the DK rap's in the game." You're like, you weren't gonna like, make a moment of that.
But I just do think that the odd thing to me is that they didn't, like I said, they didn't introduce the other Kong characters or even make a mention of them. But they did it for Cranky and Ramby, which makes me feel like they're gonna talk about that later on as well. But then also just not talking about the crocoids at all. I feel like I said, in my opinion, that seems a little deliberate. I know they mentioned that, hey, these Voidco, like, they have an army that they're controlling, but I just feel like, I don't know, they would have... I personally, I just feel like they might have, if they were going to reveal K. Rool or something, if he is in the game, they would have given us a little info or tidbit about them. And
Yeah.
the fact that they're just kind of keeping us in the dark as far as that goes, I think could signal something, but
All right,
again,
someone's
we could be
asking,
coping.
was Bowser or the Brutal shown in the Odyssey trailers? Yeah, I'm sure they were like really present because there was no like surprise factor there. Zach was saying Baby Pauline is to sell grandmas who see something cute for their grandma. I think like more than that, it's like joining in, like, with Donkey Kong fans, there's generally like people who played the arcade game and stopped, or there's people who played Country and never played the arcade game, and they're kind of like two different fan bases. That, I've gone on my own like personal journey of like kind of respecting the arcade games and understanding them, and it seems like they're trying to kind of conjoin that, which would then make it like very strange to leave K. Rool out here, but yeah, that's yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because if Void Kong has a phone, and this is all we've seen of Void Kong, they didn't like reveal another guy that they're like working for or whatever. Who's he calling? What's the laugh track? I mean, the Boulder theory is still in play, gentlemen. What is that rock? Who is laughing in that scene? That's really like I'm so confused, and it's like when I play the game, are they just gonna like show it like that? Is that gonna be the way that they reveal it, or are they going to, is this just like nothing? And I'm like, possible.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it seems like they are trying to keep some stuff pretty close. There's Diddy Kong and Dixie. It seems like they are trying to keep some stuff pretty close to the vest, though. Like I said, I mean, does anyone really feel like we came out of this learning a ton about the game other than how it plays? And like I said, I know they mentioned the Void Code. They're the bad guys. They have an army. That's pretty much all we got.
I mean,
we didn't learn anything. And like I said, just even the fact that they didn't say anything about Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong. They didn't mention the Rambi angle as far as playing on him. I mean, DK was riding Rambi at the end. They didn't mention anything about that.
Yes, they've got some sort of function that Diddy Kong plays, and it seems like it's it's kind of like a fun thing, but here they are not explaining it at all, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So there's still more to discover with this game. The question is, are they going to tell us before the game launches? Is this going to be the longest month where everybody makes fun of me? You can. That's a thing you're allowed to do on the internet. You're allowed to make fun of me.
And that's the thing. These are, like, I feel like sometimes people dunk on people for being wrong about stuff, and it's like, I mean, these are just opinions, these are just theories. We obviously don't know if K. Rool's in the game, or if all these rare elements are gonna, be present in this. But I think something's interesting that you paused here, by the way. You see this green barrel on the right? Isn't that reminiscent of like the green Kremlings from Country 2?
Yeah, and they had those in the classic section of the original trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I was looking for the skin divide in Diddy Kong's eyes.
Oh yeah.
Doing the important work here for the Kong Kompendium. But yeah, it's that's pretty wild. Yeah, someone's saying, let's catch up on chat here. Dude, I don't think K. Rool is in the game at all. We should stop the hopium. I mean, like at the end of the day, it's fun to speculate. It's fun to like, just dig into this game and see what it's about. If ultimately K. Rool is not in this game, I will be, somewhat disappointed. But it's like, I think I'll be okay. As long as the game is good. Honestly, I'd rather the game be good and not have K. Rool than have the K. Rool in the game and it be bad. But all that being said, we don't really know until the game is played. And then it's like, how much of a role does he play? Is he at the planet's core? I mean, it's weird that they're going to the core. There's the whole Kremlin core thing, and there's still that color thing in the logo. We've seen no indication of this whole blue and purple thing. So our only frame of reference for that, either in this game or the series as a whole, is the Krem core.
Well, also
and here's the lighting here. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's just like referencing this stage, but it's interesting that they're going to the core. There's that whole Kremlin core thing. And
also, you have to realize something too. You and I had this conversation the other day. Like the fact that they're using so many crocodile themed things, like crocodile enemies, crocodile symbols on pieces of rock and everything. Like, you have to realize with the Retro Studio games, I think they were told not, like, or I don't know if they were told, but they didn't want to use crocodiles because they didn't want anyone to get the impression that Kremlings were in those games. And like you think of all the different random animals you get in returns, and like there's no crocodiles. But like in this game, you know what I'm saying, Michael?
Yeah, I'm hitting in on that. Yeah, they and specifically they didn't even just say like no K. Rool. They said no crocodiles at all.
That's I didn't want to misspeak. That's why I was like kind of stopping myself. But yeah, from what I understand, they didn't want any crocodiles in those games because they didn't want that comparison or you know, I don't know. I think they really wanted it to stand on its own thing, and the fact that there's so many crocodile themed things in this game alone.
Someone check their Nintendo Today app and see if they they drop K. Rool there. They drop Cranky in the Nintendo Today app. All right, let's imagine having to fight Mario. If Mario's the final boss, that would almost be as cool as K. Rool.
No, it wouldn't.
All right, I think you have to race Diddy from what I've seen. Yeah, it looks like Diddy Kong is like some kind of time trial, or it's whatever it is. It's awesome. I love that that he's in the game and he's not just like standing somewhere menacingly. Zach says K. Rool will be at the core of the earth, sitting there menacingly. I feel like Al could probably do a better Patrick impression, but yeah, that's the thing. Mozart says drop the price. Yeah, they will. The price drop will come when the systems stop selling. But until then, they're gonna squeeze us like, you know, groceries and gas. Everything else is squeezing us. I can't breathe. Did we get a confirmed studio, or is it just Nintendo? So it's Nintendo, but also like there are human beings who worked on the game. Nintendo's doing this new thing where they want you to think like, they don't want you to think like, oh, Goodfield's making this, or you know, EPD8's making this. They want you to think Nintendo made this. It's this sleight of hand, but it's like all of a sudden like Nintendo made the Donkey Kong rap. That guy doesn't have a name. But yeah, that's the thing they're doing. J-Pup says he's convinced we are undercover Nintendo employees. Hey man, I already told you, my uncle works at Nintendo.
He said SpongeBob and Shrek are going to be in the next Super Smash Bros.
Let's go, baby. K. Rool in K. Rool or not looks phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely sold on the gameplay because I've seen the worry everybody has is like, oh, is this just going to be a game where I just like mash the Y button and get the stuff? You can see so many different instances where they reduce your ability to climb. They remove your ability to use the terrain to your advantage, and you can't like tunnel through anything. So yeah, I think the level design will be good. The question is like how many of these challenges there are. I think that's going to be my favorite part of the game is when I get in one of these rooms, they cut off like all my options and I just have to like game. And I mean, even just like the movement here looks so fun. Like Mario Odyssey, as much as I love that game, like Mario games need like a roll button. They sort of had one in Odyssey, but like being able to like roll off and then jump and then roll again, like, you know, there's some cool stuff. I think this will at least be on Odyssey's level. My bold take here is this is going to feel way more fun to move around with all the options.
Yeah, that's why I've always said a 3D Donkey Kong game is a game that we've needed, because just the movement that you could potentially have with this character is just something you don't get with most characters. Like I've always said, he feels like he can move around like the Incredible Hulk, like just jumping really far, jumping off of walls. In this case, climbing walls as well. Like there's just so many different things you could do with the character that it almost feels criminal that they haven't used him in this way ever until this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, in DK64 was their only chance, and it like the tech was just not there. Yeah. And honestly, for the Switch, the tech wasn't there, and so this was Switch 2 from the start. All right, so Paraboxify says in DKC2 you have Clobber, which is a green Kremling in a normal barrel. In DKC3 you have a Kremling in a green barrel with face painted called Naka. Good context there. Thank you for that. Yeah, they're definitely cooking something with that, and you know, you notice every time
DKC3, the ones that were actually the barrels.
Every time they they're being so coy, like they know how big of a deal Diddy Kong is, and they're just like, oh yeah, here's Diddy.
Yeah,
strange, but all right. Does anyone know if you can pre-order the amiibo? Dude, I know the Muffin Man. Let's go, baby. Yeah, you can pre-order Amiibo. At least the last time I bought Amiibo, which was like years ago.
Yeah.
They did show a K. Rool Amiibo, but who knows? Yeah, I mean, they know at this point, Nintendo's at least aware of social media and what people say and the way that the reactions would happen if they didn't have them in here. But but yeah, who knows? Like we'll see what the K. Rool amiibo does. We don't know yet. I'm related to Tim Nintendo. Absolutely, dude. I'm related. The legend of Tendo. Do you think the DK rap song will just be the chorus or the rap part or other Kongs will be there? That is another question. That is another question. I mean, it could just be like a cheeky little musical reference. The chances of us seeing Lanky or Funky, I think, are pretty low. But I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I want Bluster.
I don't think Funky Kong's low at all. I think we'll definitely see
Did I
him.
say Funky? I meant Chunky.
Oh yeah. Although the thing is that's weird is in the Mario movie they used Chunky Kong like curiously as one of the. I know they didn't
Chunky and
introduce him that way,
Swanky.
but it was clearly Chunky. So
Yeah.
it's just.
Cody Wells is saying, why would Grumpy Kong be building crocodile themed enemies if that wasn't his instructions to do so? That is, yeah. I mean, this will go down as either like the biggest gaslighting op by Nintendo or they're teasing K. Rool the whole time. And we won't know for sure until we play the game, at least like the story mode, because they could be saving him for a secret final boss. We know from Odyssey they wanted to have that last moment with Bowser be really special. And so while we all knew Bowser was in the game, no one could have guessed like what was happening at the end of that game. And it was definitely a treat.
Yeah, I just want to say to that point, like I told you before, like I just feel like at this point, like Nintendo has to be aware, and that's why I bring up the Retro Studios thing, because they did not want people to think at all that there is any, chance whatsoever that Kremlings could be in this game with Donkey Kong Country Returns. And the fact that in this game there's just so many references and so many things that just seem to be hinting at that, like it almost just feels like it would be really tone deaf on their part. Or kind of messed up, but I don't know. I just don't see it, to be honest. I think they're just waiting to try and surprise people with that. We might even get a trailer. I mean, the game's still a month away from launching, so like we might get another small trailer before it comes out.
I'm checking to see if the VTubers made tweets. I'm like, dude, if this that's also this have a good day. I don't know. I don't know if like it's so funny looking at VTuber stuff because I'm like, is this some inside joke for anime fans or is this like are you saying something? All right, Stathis 64 dudes. I have a feeling that when they reach the deep underground, K. Rool will come will take over. Yeah, I mean like something's got to be at the core. Like if it's just some gigantic rock monster thing, that almost would be boring. And also, like, yeah,
Almost.
I mean, like the.
I love how they show this and like nothing is done with it.
Well, it looks like you make a bridge.
Yeah, I know, but it's
But
just,
yeah,
I think they would
something has to be at the core of that's exciting enough to do that. And like, yeah, I mean, arguably one of the like coolest, most marketable parts about Odyssey. Game's almost 10 years old, brothers. I'm just going to spoil it. You throw your cap on Bowser and become Bowser for like a short period of time and do like the last leg of the game as Bowser. That's like an incredible surprise. My soul like left my body a little bit when that happened because I have always been waiting for Super Bowser 64. That's the closest we'll probably ever get. But like, K. Rool could be that sort of surprise. And Odyssey, they had like a whole song like that was really something that they were building up to. And so I could see arguments happening from the creative team. The creative team making this game wants you to get to that point and be surprised yourself. Yeah. The marketing team is like, well, it'll help us sell the game. And also Prosafia Gaming is going to spoil it anyway. So, we'll see. Michelle, I don't... Michael, is that a? I don't know if it's a different name to spell, but Rudelsheim. I like the RPG elements the best. Shamefully no playable Diddy. Yeah, I mean it looks like Diddy's probably not playable. They're really going with the Pauline angle. It's weird because that's Diddy Kong's spot on the back there.
Yeah.
you're kind of taking that.
I know this isn't gonna happen, but like it'd be really cool if like at some point you could swap Pauline out for a character like Diddy Kong, which again I know is like probably a less than 1% chance of happening, but it just feels like in this game, like it would have been really cool if you had Diddy with like the jetpack element that you could add for a different ability. It'd even be cool if it had a Donkey Kong 64 type of element where Pauline's the singer who does certain things, Diddy Kong's the jetpack for greater distances. You do something with Dixie Kong. Like
Yeah,
maybe
it'd be
being
cool
able
if
to
they had either
fly straight up.
swappable or, you know, he's got another shoulder there. But they're really
I think it's getting a little crowded at that point.
but yeah,
like that Rambi
the
looks-
RPG elements look cool. I'm excited to experience that, and you know, like usually those things are pretty. Yeah, it's just interesting to see Nintendo like approach this at all, because like this game feels like something PlayStation would have made. Obviously, the art style and all that stuff is very Nintendo, but like the gameplay itself and sort of the ambition behind it. Like, I mean, this is I mean. The thing about Breath of the Wild is that, yes, it's a huge open world and everything, but you can only move at the pace of a snail through it. This
Look how
game,
the ostrich has sneakers on. Did you notice that?
oh, that's sick. I didn't notice that. So yeah, this game's gonna be really ambitious. Zach was saying, what if Void Chronic just employs a fossilized version of K. Rool as a big boss you fight? It would satisfy all camps. Yeah, I mean, they could have like some kind of like Easter egg thing with K. Rool. I think that at the very least we're getting some sort of reference. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just like, they need something down there to be like worth the journey. And this team especially, I mean, look at Galaxy, look at Odyssey, look at the last stage of 3D World. They really know how to close a game out, and they really like the sense of surprise with it. You think back to 3D World, and Bowser transforms into a giant cat and like chases you up a skyscraper. Like, you know, they really take that last leg of the game seriously. Burger Good, I can't believe K. Rool made his grand return as an EB. Yeah.
But that's why I'll say, like, again, like it, you know, I know there's probably people who are like, see, he's not in the game, and it's like, look, he might not be. Like, nobody's saying, like, again, we're just theorizing, or we just feel like he's going to be in the game, but just because he didn't show up here, to me, doesn't mean anything. And I came into this thinking that, because I think if they are wanting to use this as some kind of surprise, and even still use it to market the game, I mean, they could easily just drop something like a week or two before the game comes out.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, and they could also just not tell you before the game comes out.
Yeah, that too.
They
like,
might
I know
have
that's unheard of in
they
this
might
day and
have
age,
enough of like, I mean, there's definitely enough to sell this game on. They don't necessarily need K. Rool for this to sell. It would definitely like increase excitement for it, but I think there's enough meat on this bone where like, you know, I'm in on this anyway. Oh, but DK's ostrich doesn't have shoes. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, Kiura says, I really don't get why Pauline is so young. What sense would it make for Arcade DK if they were friends a long time ago? Ezra is like, yeah, I mean, either Nintendo doesn't care about the timeline, they're retconning a bunch of stuff. I see those sneakers though.
Yeah.
Boys cooking.
well, that's why even like
with Nintendo, you can't take lore stuff too seriously, and you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, I will say at the same time, this Nintendo game seems to care more about story than like any other game that's not Zelda. I mean, even arguably Zelda, because the story is always like so secondary to the experience. Like, I feel like Zelda's like more of a vibe has more of a vibe than a plot.
Yeah, I also want to say that, do you notice in this trailer, we didn't see any new levels either, to my knowledge. Like, and I just feel like there's no way that we've seen all the levels in the game, like, except for maybe some secret last worlds. But I really think there's probably several levels we haven't even seen yet. And that just kind of lends more credence to what I'm saying about, you know, I'm sure there's plenty they haven't even showed us yet. I feel like this trailer or this direct was more of just like a keeping a pulse on it. Like, hey guys, this game is still coming out. I know we haven't shown you anything.
Well, I mean, this is a big show out, but yeah, I mean, there's still so much we don't know. Let's see, where was I? Kunai says that playable Rambi charges in a straight line. Playable Rambi sounds awesome. And like, okay, so we have one animal buddy, because this system where DK transforms seems kind of like a replacement for the animal buddy system, but like we will still have that in some sense. Coop de Loop says, end of the game, DK will turn into Kong K. Rool. Dude, that'd be so sick. Much like the zebra and ostrich transformations. That'd be so funny if, like, at the bottom, K. Rool's like one of these like sage type characters. Yeah. That'd be hilarious. Maybe the Bananza are the friends we made along the way. It's just Ethan. Yeah, that's that'll be true regardless. If I'm wrong about everything, I will laugh about it. I will go play the game. I will have fun with the game. It's just been like a decade since we could speculate about anything Donkey Kong. RV says, not my cup of tea. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, the game might stink. You know, that's something that I've been reconciling with the whole time. This team doesn't usually miss, But like, yeah, it might stink. All right, Jackson was saying, sorry, but after the Mario Kart World Direct, there's no chance of something that big being hidden. Nintendo ain't been doing surprises, and this is probably just one of their typical strange decisions. Totally possible. I will give you that. But this game's so dense they can't like spoil it all. And that's what's interesting is that like we don't know what Diddy Kong does yet. We don't know what Dixie Kong does. We don't know if Funky Kong's in the game. And I would say chances of Funky Kong being in the game are very high.
Also, I think chances of Espresso being in the game, just because of the whole ostriches with sneakers things, like it just feels like it'd be weird if that character wasn't. They didn't say anything about that either. And I also think Mario Kart's like a different type of game where it's kind of Smash in that sense where, people, obviously in Smash, people want to be surprised with characters and whatnot, but when the game's about to come out, I mean, you notice with Ultimate, everybody knew every character that was going to be in the game. There was no stone left unturned. I feel like in those games, those like competitive multiplayer games, it's a little different where, like you said, like they don't need to reveal K. Rool in this game for any reason. Because even if he's in the game, he's probably not some playable character that you would want to play this game for.
And honestly,
anyway.
like all of this speculation, and I mean, our my very dumb Boulder Theory video somehow got 50,000 views. That's a lot of free advertisement for Nintendo. So like it's almost like better to kind of keep teasing us along, and then like a week before or not at all, let them know. But yeah, I mean, you definitely do have a point there. They generally spoil everything about movies and games these days, but yeah, we'll have to see. Zach, see you, buddy. You're probably already gone. Emperor Caleb Teen. Is that a Star Wars reference? He is on the amiibo link on screen is the stealth confirmation. He is the big boss of the game. I would set my watch and warrant to it. Yeah, I mean, you trap me in a room and you're like, Michael, you can't leave until you tell me what you think is going to happen. That would be my guess. But yeah, I'm also surprised, like from working in marketing, I'm surprised that they're leaving anything on the table. But also we've got a month long to go. We'll see what happens. And I think the thing with Mario Kart 2 is like they're definitely doing DLC. All right, so J Blue Jake says, not gonna lie, I missed one. I think one of the Golden Giant statues was a croc. Find me the time code of that. We'll rewind to it. J Blue Jake says, not gonna lie, super hyped for everything except for clothes because it's red tie. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat Peak. Yeah. You can't beat Peak. I'm not like these outfits. Like I'll get them just for like completion's sake, but
yeah, I don't think I'll ever use them.
Yeah,
like I just like the standard,
especially
Donkey
not
Kong.
the colors. That's just sacrilegious. Cody Wells says, "How will lore survive? There are two Rambys in that one clip." Yeah, I mean maybe it's Ramby's girlfriend, Ramby, Rhonda. JJ 101 Gamer, Theory, Cranky Kong, and DK do the fusion dance and become Kong and Beats Fordco. That'd be cool too.
Can I just say though, just seeing that on the screen, the Crocoids for a moment too, like, and that's what I mean. I know I keep going back to this Retro Studios thing, and it's totally Cope, but I just also think like, why of all things would they make those the skeleton enemies? And again, they didn't talk about them at all. And we know they I mean, like, obviously through the demos that they're referred to as Crocoids, like, the fact that it just literally didn't come up in any way, shape, or form other than them mentioning that Voico has an army. I just think, and like somebody mentioned earlier, the whole thing about, like, why would they build an army to look like that, of all things?
Yeah, especially with the eyes, too. Yeah, it's just,
well,
it's
also,
all,
like, don't most
it's all
things,
sus.
When I feel like when evil characters in any type of story create an army, they usually do it in their image, and the fact that they're choosing the image of like, let's go with weird crocodile things, I don't know. I again, it's totally Cope, but I definitely think K. Rool's in the game, and that's just my opinion, but I could totally be wrong too.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. Don't act like we're not gonna be playing as White Donkey Kong for the DKC games. All right, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
the outfits do have abilities. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get away with not using them. They need to have a DK Junior shirt for him and make his fur pink, dude. Player 2 Donkey Kong Jr. math reference. Let's go, baby. I'm seeing some frame drops in the trailer. I hope it gets fixed when it finally launches. This is the thing that worries me most about the game. Apparently, though, Mario Odyssey had some performance issues, but I didn't really notice like a whole lot of them playing. So they're usually pretty good at like disguising them as well. Although, again, like there's so much happening. Even when DK's like rolling on flat ground, he's like pushing some debris out of the way. So that takes a lot of system resources, and DK moves fast. So that's my my biggest worry is that we're gonna have a wacky frame rate. The real Godzilla King says maybe K. Rool is the surprise boss. Nintendo doesn't want to spoil it. Yeah, that's kind of what I would think. I still think there's a decent chance that he gets at least teased before the game launches, or he's not in it at all, and we're all gonna look really silly. But you know, we'll
think
embrace
that's
that
also
if it
just
happens.
like, you know, we did a video. If I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but the Journey to the West video that we did, and obviously, what is it? Don't Mind Me Joe is his actual user.
Don't mind Joe.
Yeah, Don't Mind Joe. Did a fantastic video on it as well. But also, like, it just seems like this game is totally trying to be, you know, like Journey to the West, and I feel like for everything to fall into place, you almost have to have K. Rool or a character like that. But it's just weird that everything else, just even down to the transporting fish, being like the demon fish from Journey to the West, I just feel like it'd be really strange if we didn't also get K. Rool when it's like all these other things are clearly like trying to, you know, be like Journey to the West. I don't know why I can't talk today or articulate my thoughts right, so I apologize.
Well, and you know, we'll see if the Mori Calliope thing ends up being a thing, because they you know, if that's confirmed, then we can kind of like look at everything else she's saying is like, okay, it's like Journey to the West, blah blah blah, and that theory will be kind of confirmed, more or less. So
someone was talking about Diddy and Dixie as like the Luigi situation. Honestly, Luigi wasn't in the game until free DLC as a side mode, but glad they're in the game already. Yeah, I mean, that could totally be the case. I mean, I think it would be like, I feel like it's weird to say because Luigi's obviously a really big deal in Mario too, and he's kind of just been relegated to being an NPC. But, you know, then you saw in like the Mario Galaxy games, for example, you can beat the game and then play as Luigi. In Mario Odyssey, like you mentioned, you do have that side mode DLC that you get at some point as well. So, I don't know. I feel like Diddy Kong will have some kind of role to play, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, someone was also talking about it doesn't make sense that the game accepts a K. Rool amiibo if he isn't in the game. The only thing I'll say about that, even though I think he's in the game, is that I could see that making sense only because it's just a Donkey Kong amiibo, so it'd be weird if, like, you know, they were just like, nah, you can't use this one, but you can use the other ones. So I feel like that one, you know, like I said, I think that doesn't really, you know, I think you can still have the amiibo even if he wasn't in, but I think he is in the game.
yeah, yeah, Nenkers is bringing up the point that lots of Zelda amiibos are, you know, you can scan them, but they're not actually in the game. This is an actual theory. King K. Rool is disguised as Void Kong. I mean, maybe that.
Which one?
If they go big on the Journey to the West stuff, and I mean, there was like a shape shifting monkey of the same species as Void Kong that is in Journey to the West. So like, and that's like Sun Wukong's rival. So if they go that route, they definitely could have that. And then it's like, would you want to spoil that and then like make people play like 20 hours of a campaign where they don't see, you know, it's like there are disadvantages to revealing K. Rool too soon if he is in the game. So yeah, I mean that's definitely something.
Yeah.
Matthew, you got the Nintendo Today app? Give that old gander. And I'm curious of what's going on the web. Let's see what
I mean, it doesn't look
folks
like
are
it
saying.
says- I think you can just watch the direct on here.
Yeah, Skips was saying that the first lyric is "the world is cruel." I'm just
that's
like,
what I
they
said.
have
That's-
to know.
dude, that's
bro.
that's what I said. I just feel like it's so on the nose, you know. And obviously, that could just that one could totally just be a coincidence. But again, like I just feel like with all the references we're getting, it would just be kind of, to use that word, cruel on Nintendo's part. Because again, that's why I'm gonna keep saying it. The Retro Studios thing being like, no crocodiles. We don't want anyone thinking these characters are in the game or ever gonna be in the game. And I just think, you know, again, I just think to the whole why would Voidco create an army to look like this? Like, it just, of all things you could make an army for. And like I said, I feel like in most stories where you have some mega villain that does create his own army, usually it's in his own image. And so to do it in the image of a humanoid crocodile, of all things, not even just crocodiles, bipedal humanoid crocodiles, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just so, like I said, I just think it would, like you said, Michael, I feel like Nintendo would totally be gaslighting us if that was the case.
Yeah. So
Baja Blast Kong?
it's gonna be a long month. But also, like, you know, here the fun part is we get to speculate more, and you know, I'll dig the hole deeper. I will look more stupid or more.
Someone's saying go to 40 minutes and 2 seconds. That's
Okay.
K. Rool found it. Brother.
Dude, we found K. Rool live on the Kong Compendium stream.
Wait, but
Oh
where's,
no!
Yeah, wait.
Oh no! Let me see if I
Wait,
can.
if you go forward.
What's
I feel
the?
like-
Uh,
What about if you go forward? Does it tell you? No.
no. Hold on. Let me like reboot the video or something.
Well, no, that's not going to be at 40 minutes. It's just going to be 15
yeah.
minutes.
Well. Oh, is it gone?
Nintendo realized they accidentally leaked K. Rool and they took it down.
the YouTube on the game systems is like how are we using this? What does it do? It's so confusing to find like what you're looking for.
Listen,
all right.
Skips, if you're still in the chat, I can't wait.
I don't know if he's in the chat. I was
Oh.
looking at Twitter.
Oh. Darn.
He might be.
I thought he was in the video. I was gonna say if he was watching when K. Rool is finally revealed, you know, we're gonna celebrate.
Oh no! I wrote Donkey Kong.
The backspace is to the top right, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I keep saying it. I know it's KOPE.
I spelled Bananza wrong.
But I think it automatically, because that's how you actually
Okay,
spell the
so
word Bananza.
all right, so the direct is here. See if you can find the time code for me in inside of this.
AO, see if you can find
My
that
friend.
time code, please. Yeah, somebody asked what the timestamp is of the 15-minute version, but
When the world is cruel. When the world is cruel, Matthew.
I'm
does
not
it
even listening. I
mean?
took my headphones off.
What does it mean?
I don't need to hear the volume anymore, but
Dude,
Yeah.
Crocwatch is back. We thought Crocwatch was gonna be over. Nintendo of Europe tweeted a way better picture of Donkey Kong. If I knew how to use OBS, I would like show it to you. But
is Pauline not on his back, or am I tripping?
Pauline is not on his back in the challenge stage. That is.
Is it just for the challenge stage?
Well, I mean, it's like a race that you do with Diddy Kong, and I'm like, but don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't tease me with the possibility that.
Not sure where it is, so you know we'll try to skim through or something. Do you know at what point, like, if somebody could say what point of the trailer, like, was it towards the end? What was happening at the time where you think you found that? You know, any information. Give me hope.
Okay,
No.
nothing on the Nintendo Today app. Yeah, I think if you so like the video with the live stream, they uploaded one version of it. So I wonder if like I can still see the Okay, let's do this. This was the Nintendo of Europe 4002. Let's see if we can do that.
Why would it be different on here?
This has the full time code, the 40 minutes. So let's see.
Yeah, but wasn't it 4002 of us streaming, rewinding and stuff?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Someone said 1032, the golden statue in the back.
Okay, let's rewind.
Yeah, just go back to the regular
Oh, look,
one.
it's the Kong Compendium, dude.
Dude, I just want to say thank you all so much.
Yeah, this is
for
cool.
watching.
I'm so bad at streaming, but glad.
Yeah, we don't
Okay,
do this sort of thing at all.
What is it? 1032, the golden statue at the back. Let's see, dude. If this code is cracked, that would be nuts. This statue.
Is this the confirm?
Okay, I'm gonna play like super slow. Let's look at it. 25% speed.
Oh, someone said they think we're doing a good job. Someone
Okay,
says
so I see
slightly
Void Kong
after,
here.
Slightly after. I
Um,
keep looking. I see fingernails. Fingernails. Was it that part?
I love the arcade references. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like keeping my eyes on the chat.
Okay, and this is like, yeah. I, mean, I wonder if let's see. They're saying gold statue, so it would
Someone
be,
said, yeah, the hand with the nails. I think one of the monkeys just
that
has
could be
nails.
Void Kong.
Yeah, I think that's.
Void
that's
Kong
just
is
it.
his official name. I like how they, I mean, it's like they even like kept that from us for like a month for like no reason. So that's where it's like they've definitely got a plan here that they're working.
Someone says you can see the back of his head. Yeah, I guess we can keep rewinding it. I mean, we're not watching anything else, but
it's 10:32. Okay, let me see from.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't truly fully expect to see K. Rool in this. Like, I know it's unheard of these days for no surprises to be left for games, but you know, I think every once in a while you get games that kind of harken back to that era of just leaving surprises to be discovered. And again, I think for this type of game, like Michael mentions, you don't really need to, like, hey, if K. Rool, if they showed him, like, yeah, it'd probably help, but it's not going to change the bottom line as far as, like, you know, the differences with a game like Super Smash Bros. Where, like, you know, I get to play as a different character, you know, which gives me a different gameplay experience than playing as somebody else, you know, whereas, like, I feel like it's just a little different and they don't necessarily need to, you know, do that here.
Yeah, I wonder. Because I mean, there could be something here. I'd have to like download the video and like move it frame by frame. Because I see. I already forgot their names. I see Grumpy Kong. I remember him. I see Girl Kong and I see Void Kong. I don't see. I don't know if we see anybody else, but I'm gonna try and pause it like right when it switches. No, it's not this one.
I don't think it's right at the beginning, is at least what these people were saying. I think it was
like toward the end.
Yeah.
'Cause I see Grumpy's.
Yeah,
he's
that's
holding
Grumpy Kong.
He's holding the pickaxe.
That's Poppy Kong, and then I'm pretty sure the other
I
one
see
is
the
just...
crown from Void Kong. But that's the thing. I mean, if that's where like the I keep checking this VTuber's Twitter. If she's in the game, then she already confirmed Journey to the West theory.
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah.
if
That
Journey
is
to the West
interesting.
theory is in play, then it very well could be K. Rool just disguised as the Void Kong. But yeah, wasn't that the hand with the nails? I think that's Void Kong.
Yeah,
that's what I was. If I would gander to guess, you can see the back of his head for like half a second. I might be going insane. Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, we're huffing the creme cope. Yeah, and like I said, I keep saying it. Like I don't think K. Rool is or isn't in the game because of this trailer. And that's not even Cope. I didn't fully expect to see him either way. Because one, I do think it could just be a surprise that they save for later in the game. Or two,
You can see the Croc's
I think
face.
we're still a month away from the release. They could show us another actual trailer at some point.
If any of you fellas wanna, if you see K. Rool there, you can screenshot it and send it to. I'm like trying to remember my Twitter name. I think it's Cottrello Vision. I'm also on Blue Sky. The links are in the channel page. You know, if you wanna show me what you got, I will yell about it.
Yeah.
I want to see the DK64 crew so bad. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because this game takes so much from 64. Like, it's paying a lot of homage to it. Even the entrance to the challenge stages are the same. But,
you know what? You bring something up, though, that I wanted to mention. I forgot about this earlier, but do you notice how we know the naughty fossils in the game? So, like, at least we know there's some fossils that are from the rare games. And, like, do you know they mentioned the fossils and they didn't show any of those? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's what I think. I think there's certain things that happened in this direct that were extremely deliberate because I feel like they didn't even want to open the conversation for those.
Like
things
we don't know what the fossils do. We don't know if the maps mean anything.
We know they buy outfits and stuff. Their currency, but
the fossils do.
Yeah, the fossils do.
Okay,
but
okay.
but
Let me go to that
my whole
part.
thing though is that when they were showing the fossils, they deliberately didn't show any of the fossils, like some that you skipped.
Yeah, it's like that's the part I'm least interested in.
Go,
So
go to the right.
okay, you can use
yeah.
the layers fossils to buy. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what that is.
But I just think it's interesting that like they didn't show some of these fossils that we know are in the game through the first trailer, through the demo, and only showed fossils that, again, are just generic. And so I don't know. I definitely think this game is trying to hold a lot of stuff close to its vest, and
I think we
as
still
vest
only
came
know
up
the
on the
first
screen.
like 3 levels. And granted, maybe there's not that many levels because each level is like kind of its own open world. But yeah, okay. So yeah, DK's just got a bunch of britches.
Can you type your Twitter name? You said it's Cottrello Vision. I'll put it in there.
Someone took care of it.
Oh, okay.
Swimming britches. Okay, what kind of stat boost are we
Yeah, I
getting
agree
from
with
the...
this comment though. The DK transformation stuff is weird. Like, yeah, it's like I think it looks fun, but I mean, honestly, as a like, I'm still super excited for this game, but there is a lot about it for me personally that I think just looks kind of odd. Like I said, even the whole Pauline angle, the song at the end, some of that stuff, it just feels very like I don't want to say like off-putting, but just it just feels a little out there. But like I said, I'm still super hyped for the game, but there is some stuff about it that just feels strange. I definitely would have liked to see Diddy in Pauline's position though. Like, I know we've had that through like Returns and Tropical Freeze and all that, but in a 3D game, like, I just feel like it would have been great.
I mean, I'm disappointed, but also I'm not mad. Like, I think they could do something really cool with this, and she fixes an angle where they don't want DK to talk and be like, "Hey guys, I'm DK," so like she can talk, and so they're gonna use that for some story reason. But yeah, that's interesting. But
somebody's see you, Stathis64. Appreciate you checking out the stream.
That's yeah. This is I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It'll be an interesting month. I thought they were just gonna blow the lid off of this
look
game.
At all these fossils they show. They're just more generic. They look like actual prehistoric animal fossils. But we know there's a fossil of Naughty, which means there's probably fossils of the other rare, just normal enemies like
yeah, and like, what does that mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look, I feel like they deliberately just chose like the most generic fossils.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there's a trilobite. It's funny that they have a fossil of there's an animal that they showed at the beginning there. I forgot what it is, but it's an animal that apparently existed before dinosaurs. But it's cool that they have a fossil of that. Just as a quick aside, but yeah, I still think that one at the bottom right, the one that's
I'm trying to look at this like Banandium gems. Okay, so these are the names of the. There's also smashing stats. I'm trying to look at like just like the first one you get is cracking a crocoid. It's just interesting.
Yeah,
just interesting.
And that's why I just feel like I don't know. I just think there were things that were done deliberately because they didn't even want to open up the conversation, and again, like the whole crocoid angle, just not mentioning them at all, just the fact that it's supposed to be Voico's army and they just randomly chose crocodiles that walk on 2 feet of literally all the things you could think of. And that's why I say there's a part of this that feels like it could just be a cruel ploy on Nintendo's part of just being like, all people care about is crocodiles. They don't care if it's actually K. Rool or these crocodiles in particular. But I just refuse to believe that. I think what we know from Donkey Kong Country Returns development, it feels like they're very aware of these things. And I just feel like this would be extremely tone deaf on their part. And that's not even including all the, again, we keep talking about the Journey to the West parallels. And like Michael said, if this VTuber is in this game, it was essentially confirmed through her that this game is like supposed to be an interpretation of Journey to the West. So the fish for me, the teleport fish, I mean, that's also like the most obvious thing. You know, if you look up, what is it, the demon fish or
Okay,
something
so
is what
we've
it is in
basically
Journey to the West.
seen. We know there. So there's the hilltop, the lagoon layer, and then there is. We've seen the snow layer. There's probably like 2 or 3 more levels that we haven't seen.
Yeah, I agree with this comment that like the game seems fun. The song seems generic and boring, especially when compared to Jump Up Superstar. Yeah, I 1000% agree with
Yeah,
that.
I haven't really engaged with the song much. The Pauline angle could be bad because like Nintendo, that's where it's like I'm not sure it's the VTuber thing. Nintendo is kind of famous for their penny pinching and voice acting. We don't know exactly why Charles Martinet was replaced. I'm gonna guess he asked for a raise. That's like my headcanon. Because like they just cut him off real fast for like no reason when like you know. Kevin, you know, I'm sure he's a fine dude and whatever, but like they just got this random dude, and they're like, "Can you do a Charles Martinet impression?" It's weird.
I do think it's funny. Someone said there's going to be a K. Rool Foster show that he's dead forever, guys. Trust me. Totally gonna be a thing. And then someone else said like doesn't think K. Rool ain't coming. Like that's again at the thing again. Like he could totally not be in the game. This is just our opinion. This is just what we think is going to happen. You know, he could totally be absent from this, and it would be the funniest thing ever while cruel at the same time. But I just personally think he's going to be in here.
Yeah.
And even if he wasn't in the base game for whatever strange reason, even though all the signs point to it, like that doesn't mean they couldn't include him as something like DLC or something down the road as like some secret boss. Like the whole theory was with, you know, they were wanting to do that for the Tropical Freeze release on Nintendo Switch. So, you know,
yeah,
I'm still holding out hope.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That color scheme is on everything.
It's interesting. Interesting what we still don't know as far as the transformations go. I mean, like, yeah, I mean they're not something that I particularly care about. I like the main one, the ape one. That one looks pretty cool. But yeah, turning into the zebra looks kind of goofy. But also, I like. You know, it being hilarious is kind of half the appeal. Yeah, I'm so curious. Why is Grumpy Kong building crocodiles? Is Grumpy Kong a meta commentary on Donkey Kong fans about all they do is complain and ask for crocodiles? I mean,
we're all just Grumpy Kongs deep down inside.
Peach says Toad voice. Yeah, they replaced her too. She didn't even know before the game release. And like these are people who've been working for Nintendo for like a decade plus, and they don't even get that courtesy. If you see Charles Martinet, they know that it would look bad if they like kind of cut him loose entirely. But instead they made him like a Mario ambassador. But if you go see him at a convention or something, you can't like take a video of him doing the Mario voice. He's not allowed. So it's like. I do think that there's a certain level of like you're not allowed to, you know, like just a certain animosity.
I just
we got the options menu. Let's go, baby.
One of our buddies who also does some of the effects for the channel just texted us saying he went to the gold statue part, and you can actually see the ears pointing up from the Void Kong on that particular part that we were focusing on.
Which you might be right.
So
that might actually just be K. Rool. I mean,
in disguise.
That's what we'll have to see. We'll have to see, gentlemen. But yeah, I'm like, dude, what video do I make of this? There's so much to talk about. I don't even know what to think about it. But yeah, we see like the Diddy Kong thing is like, it's great. He's looking good. Nintendo, I think probably every Nintendo region has like probably tweeted the Diddy and Dixie. Dixie's got a guitar pick on her hair. I don't see the pin on Diddy. But yeah, I like the proportions. The skin separation in the eyes is confirmed. It's confirmed.
Yeah, but it is weird though that Diddy Kong's new design isn't seems to be represented in this game. Maybe that's what he's gonna look like in Mario Kart as DLC. If
okay,
that ends up
I got tweets coming in.
You heard me?
Sorry, what?
I was saying that I wonder if Diddy. It's weird that they didn't use his new design for this game. Apparently, do you think that could be his design for Mario Kart if he's added as DLC?
Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at the statue thing. All right, one more time.
Do you think that since Diddy Kong's new design doesn't seem to be represented at least as clear as, I mean, that could just be like the
it's definitely there.
But I'm just saying, like, do you think that might be more apparent in Mario Kart when he's, I would say, inevitably added to that?
Yeah, no, I'll show you this picture, Matthew. He's got like the skin tag, the thicker proportions. That's definitely the new Diddy Kong. But yeah, they didn't really do a whole lot to him in the first place to really. It's weird that Donkey Kong looks kind of different in Bonanza than he does to the renders they're using for the licensing. Okay, so you guys, I've seen the picture you guys are sending me, and I don't know. I don't know. It kind of looks like a croc face. I could also see that being like the back of Void Kong. What we have to do is we have to kind of check these hands and also check the pose that they're in, because like them being like kind of lower. I don't know. All right, we got to see if I'm checking VTuber's feed again. I guess like nobody
would be able to say it like until the game's out, I would think, right?
I guess maybe not with how they've been revealing voice actors. Like they don't do it until the game's out. But like also, there's kind of a marketing component. Like if they did this, they'd probably want to announce that collab so that you could get all the free publicity, because these VTuber folks are super popular.
I also have to say this, like, and this is totally just my opinion thing and totally a KOPE thing, but I just think Void Co is so. If those are the only villains in the game, I just feel like that would be super disappointing. Even if it wasn't K. Rool, I just feel like they're, like, call me crazy, but I just feel like they're kind of generic, personally, and that's just my opinion.
They're not. I mean,
like,
they're
if
okay.
If anybody likes them, that's totally fine, but I just think they're kind of like meh. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, for all the flack that Retro got for, like, the tikis, and I know people like the snowmats to a certain extent, but, like, I don't know. I think I'd honestly... Now, this is crazy. This is totally just me being crazy, but I'd almost rather take the tikis, because at least they're not just other monkeys. Like, I think the Jungle Beat thing is still, like, one of those... It's like, what would Donkey Kong fight? He would fight Evil Monkey. It's like you could just... I think that's why K. Rool's always been interesting. It just juxtaposes really well. Like, you have apes and monkeys, and then you have, like, humanoid crocodiles. And I think their colors really contrast really well as in addition to that. So, I don't know. But
I'm also like, dude, you see this thing? He gets separated from Pauline? So you're telling me there's a chance that Diddy Kong...
Yeah. So you're telling me there's the... you see the thing that looks like it could be the planet core? The triangle in the thing that's gonna eat her throat.
That's interesting.
It's
that's the sound I'm gonna make if K. Rool's not in the game.
I can't hear.
I don't think anybody can, but that's gonna be me. That is gonna be me. All right, well, that's New Donk origin story. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably in the I think that's probably in the cards. All right. K. Rool having a voice actor would be awesome. I like them, but the Void Kong doesn't radiate final boss aura. He definitely doesn't. And like, think about it, especially like all the stuff that DK is doing in this game. Like he's transforming to become like twice his size. It'd be weird to fight like a little shrimp after that. Now he could jump in some sort of mech or some sort of like advanced crocoid. So that's definitely possible, but like, that's someone bringing the different opinion that he looks better than K. Rool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just a time thing, but I feel like the thing with K. Rool is that he's so funny. You see him in the pirate costume, in the Frankenstein costume. Like, there's just so much that's kind of like going on with that character that I think adds a lot of personality.
I think it's also it just
Voidco's giving brutals, yes. They definitely look like brutals.
I just think it's not even that the characters aren't that cool. I just think it's that they're just like, I think for me, and again, this is just a personal thing, but I just think the fact that Donkey Kong's an ape and his enemies are just other apes, I feel like it's just not... Like, part of what makes Bowser cool to me is you have Mario that's just like a human plumber, and he's fighting a giant turtle dinosaur thing, you know, and that's why I said with DK and K. Rool, I feel like those things, they just juxtapose each other very well. You know, and for these guys, I feel like they're just almost too samey. I mean, that was my big thing with Jungle Beat, is like, you know, and I think that's why those enemies didn't really stick with anybody. Like, nobody's wondering where Ghastly Kong is or Sumo Kong.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I think we're okay with those characters never coming back.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like the idea of not
me.
having the same exact villain for every single game in a franchise that's 40 plus years. It's weird that we're like totally chill with it with Zelda and Mario, but when Donkey Kong does it, it's like, oh, that's weird. But like, you know, I think bring K. Rool back as a big baddie one more time, and then integrate him kind of like DDD is in the Kirby series, where like they rotate bosses. DDD plays a role in every game, but like it's different. Because yeah, I mean, I don't want it to become Mario, where like literally every game you're just, you know, going to Bowser's castle.
Yeah, I totally agree with
Or
that.
I mean, like, gosh, I mean, Zelda feels even more tired, where it's just like every time it's the same dude.
Well, that's why,
or
like,
pig,
I've said this
depending
to
on the
Michael
game.
plenty of times. Like, I actually prefer when games use different villains. My thing with K. Rool is that, can we at least get him back once? Like, it's been so long since, I think, what was the last game? Like, Jungle Climber, maybe? I mean, like, I just think, like, I'm all for using different characters. Like you were saying with Mario and Zelda, or some of those games where I feel like the villains are kind of tired at this point. Like, I think with Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, kind of what made that cool is that Bowser wasn't the focal point. It was a different villain. Or even some of those other Paper Mario games, or like, you know, the Mario and Luigi games, like
Yeah.
Fawful, or some of those. Like, I always think stuff like that's cool. I like seeing different kinds of bad guys. I just think in this case, it's like, can we just get K. Rool back and know that, you know, he is still going to be used in some capacity at some point, just for one game, even if they use him for this and they don't use him for the next 2 or 3 or whatever it is. Like, I don't care, but just use him once again, at least.
I don't. Someone was saying, do I see his face in the picture? I don't. But I'm like, you know, I'm looking at it in like compressed Twitter video. I will set the Donkey Kong detective himself on it, and if we smell something, we will report back. If anyone will find it, it'll be Skips. He'll figure it out. But yeah, that's man, it's we got a lot of speculating to do.
Yeah, and we were just done with speculation for a while. You know,
Yeah, I was kind of happy to like, you know, this whole channel started because there's like just maybe like 100 plus videos that I have in my mind of just like, oh man, that'd be fun to explore. I won't even tease them because I feel like they're just like, there's stuff that nobody's talking about and they're awesome. And so I have so many different video ideas. We made a few of them, and then Bananza dropped, and it's like, well, this is going to be our only, you know, if history repeats itself, this is our only chance the next like 10 years to tease all this out and speculate on a new game. So we kind of turned into this like speculation channel, but that's yeah. I love
how you say
it's pulling me back in.
I have these ideas. We have these ideas, and that's why, yeah. When Michael and I talked about starting this channel, I mean, we just were like, there's so much lore and history with Donkey Kong that I feel like just doesn't get talked about. It hasn't been explored at all. So we just, you know, we have a lot of videos that we want to make. But yeah, it's just then Bananza was released, and we got, you know, we started huffing the creme cope.
Yeah, so there's yeah, but you know, it's like, yeah, I mean, there's probably like one more Croc adjacent video in me. You know, the Journey to the West stuff and the Hollow Earth stuff. It'll be interesting to go back to that video and see if I was cooking there. But yeah, Kira was saying that you know, I can get tired of the Mario versus Bowser thing, but the day Bowser's absent for a Mario game is gonna be war. Yeah, I mean, I think you just put him in a different like you put him in a different role. And the annoying thing, Mario always rescuing Peach, which they didn't do in Wonder, but even though the plot, yeah, they took in Mario Wonder, they're like, Mario's not saving Peach from Bowser anymore, and they're like, what do we do? I don't know. I've never made a Mario game that's different. That was funny. Yeah, well, man, Mario Wonder is such a weird game because it's like it's a at some points it's like a 10 out of 10, and at other points it's like a 5. It's weird. I feel I have very mixed feelings on the game, although I generally enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, like the Mario RPG games, the way they use Bowser is so much better than the way the main series does, because he has like so much personality. He's like goofy but threatening at the same time. Mario RPG started it, and Bowser's Inside Story like finished like the character of Bowser. Like, it's so good, and so like in those games you always had different enemies. Now the like Fawful was an incredible villain, and like we would have never had him if they were just like making us use Bowser every time. So
yeah, Super Mario RPG, that was another thing, that like Bowser's one of your characters that you play as, somebody on your team, and it's the giant sword. I can't remember what was it, the giant sword. There was somebody like controlling the giant sword, right, or something to that effect.
Yeah, Smithy.
Yeah, Smithy. Yeah. So, I mean, but
Smithy,
that's why I
Warburton,
think
and
those
Jensen.
Mario games stand out in a lot of people's minds. It's like, man, they actually did something different, and it was really cool. So I'm all for that. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, K. Rool needs to be Donkey Kong's bad guy in every game. But I just think, after Returns and Tropical Freeze and not having used him for so long, and especially, him being in Smash Ultimate, it also just feels like it would be a missed opportunity on Nintendo's part after so many. I mean, the Smash ballot, and that's another thing we didn't even really talk about, but like there's a lot of evidence that suggests K. Rool might have even won the Smash ballot, and we know for certain he performed extremely well on it, to the point of like that's probably the reason why he got added to Ultimate. It's why Nintendo went ahead and added a Mii costume in Smash 4 for him to let people know, like, hey, we hear you, we know you want this character, so here's a little him in some form of it for the time being. But I just think even from that standpoint alone, I think Nintendo, just like any company, is in the business of making money. And when the fans are speaking and the demand is there for something, I just think they'd be crazy not to. I mean, like, what business sense would that make? Like, hey, we know we have this, like Miyamoto talked about with using Donkey Kong, like we look at our characters like it's a talent agency, and we have talent that we can utilize. And I think K. Rool, they realized through the Smash ballot and through Ultimate that, like, yeah, this is a character that we can use, that people like, that will hopefully positively affect sales of this product.
Man, there's this guy, John Cartwright from Good Vibes Game, who said DK's turned the sad dad genre on its head by making a happy dad game. I don't know if you guys have played PlayStation games, but it's always like God of War, Last of Us. There's so many games that are just like depressing games that it's like a bunch of game developers had kids and like realized it's really hard and difficult, and that was like a vibe for a while. But Donkey Kong is just like the happy version of that. That's so funny. I do see the Diddy pin. There's so much Diddy stuff that people are posting. That's an awkward phrase. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. This is very interesting. The transformation stuff definitely puts more stock into Journey to the West. Now there is one guy, Ultima Shadow on Blue Sky, was talking about, he thinks Bananza is a total lore reboot. Nintendo doesn't really care about story consistency, especially when it pertains to Mario and adjacent stuff. They don't even care with Zelda. Cranky Kong making references to other DK titles is just to make the player go, here I remember, nothing deeper. That definitely could be true from like a story standpoint. Like, they might just like totally retcon the idea. Although I think also the one thing I would challenge that with is that, like, the DK, like the DK arcade game is kind of like sacred to Nintendo. I mean, that was like the canon event that started their path to become the company that they are today. Without that game, you probably don't have that. And so I think that's like kind of like this sacred thing. And so will there be some sort of time travel element? There could be, because there's fossils of Naughties. Pauline is a kid for some reason. I mean, but it could honestly just be like Pauline's a kid because we tried to mock up adult Pauline on Donkey Kong's back and it looks weird.
I still don't even think, though, that just, to me, I feel like they either would have just used Pauline in the game and just had her not be on Donkey Kong's shoulder, or they just wouldn't have used her. Like if that was the case, like I don't know. I think it is kind of deliberate that they made her a younger version of herself. But
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I could definitely, yeah, I'm not counting it out, but yeah, there's definitely the possibility that, like, I was shocked when I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but like the Guardians are just like missing from that game. And there's like not really an explanation for that. And I'm just like, really? Like, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
they just don't care.
But that's why, like, I don't even look at this like this. Again, I keep just talking about from a business standpoint. Like, it's not that I think Nintendo really cares about being lore consistent or anything like that. I just think of even with the K. Rool stuff, dude. I just look at it from a business standpoint. Like, again, it's like just Nintendo seeing how popular this character is. It's like, why would you not just use that? And listen, Nintendo's probably looking at this game like, we need it to be successful. We want to see what we have in the Donkey Kong brand. We want to see if this is something that can generate the kind of success that it used to in the 90s, that, it used to rival the likes of Mario and Zelda. And they don't know if that's, they're taking a huge chance on doing this kind of game right now. And so I think they really want it and need it to be successful. And what better way to ensure that than just putting in a character that, like, thousands of people told you, like, hey, we want this, like, please.
So funny enough that part that I just showed was Donkey Kong or Diddy and Dixie were in the trailer like way earlier than anybody noticed. This scene where he's climbing up the rope. But I love the lava snow thing that they got going on in this world. Reminds me of Mario Galaxy.
I do want to say, I agree. Somebody's talking about, the thing with the Smash thing is that Ridley wasn't in Metroid dead and Banjo's pretty much dead. Well, the thing is with that is that, for one, like, Banjo, ever since they did that, I mean,
there's like, you could sort of see Diddy and you can see Dixie clear as day. That's really funny. It's also funny
also on the trophy.
Yeah, it's also funny that this whole thing is about racing. Mario Kart World DLC. Let's go, baby.
But I wanted to touch on this, though, because the thing with Banjo is, for one, like, I think that's a different situation. Like, Microsoft would have to decide if they want to commission that game. And even then, most games take several years to make. And so them seeing the success with Banjo and Smash, what was that, 2019? Like, even if they decided to start making that game, we probably wouldn't have seen it at this point anyway. So that's the first thing. I think with Metroid Dread was in development for years before Ultimate, wasn't it? Or like a good period of time before that. And also, like, Metroid, I feel like, is not a one-to-one example because, like, Metroid tries to be realistic in the sense that, like, when characters die, they don't use them again.
And Ridley came back a bunch of times, but I'm pretty sure story-wise he's not there anymore. And so, and I mean, it's kind of a different thing with different demographics. With K. Rool, if you bring him out, then you could start making toys of him and all that stuff and license him to people. There's not really that same market for, like, Ridley to be on, like, a plush toy,
and I said, Ridley's, like, it's pretty standard that Ridley's just not in every Metroid game because they try to be sort of consistent to some
he also wasn't
kind of timeline.
He also wasn't absent for, like, a decade plus, and I would say the chances of him being in Prime in some shape or form are quite high.
Yeah.
Because that would be the Metroid game that he would, like, kind of debut again. There's those two concurrent, like, timelines in Metroid. I mean, like, the Prime series, I'm speaking having played like 10% of these games. Prime happens way before the events of, like, Super Metroid, and Metroid Dread is, like, the newest thing on the timeline. So certain characters would just be gone.
Yeah, and I know it's I know what you're saying about Ridley came back other times, but usually it's been through the form of, like, because I know sometimes they do Metroid games that are actually earlier in the timeline, like they're prequels. Like, I think Metroid Other M, for example, I don't know if it's Other M is one of the earlier ones in the timeline, but I think that's one thing. And then there's also times where Ridley's like what was in the Game Boy Advance game? Was it Metroid Fusion where Ridley's, like, frozen over
I'm
something?
Sorry, I just had a very dumb idea of an edit I'm gonna make later.
like where
I'm
Ridley
listening
is
now.
like they like resurrect him or something along those lines. Like I know even in Metroid Prime,
there's a bunch of
meta Ridley, which is
it's
like
kind of weird because like in some sense Ridley could be in any game because like they do things like that where like, oh, we brought him back to life. But yeah, I mean we'll see if Ridley's also absent from Prime 4, then we'll have to definitely give that credence.
He
But
certainly could be, because in Prime 3 he was like brought back as
someone
Omega
saying
Ridley,
fusion with Neo Ridley. Yeah,
already, but I'm saying, like, you know, in Prime 3 they brought him back for Omega Ridley, and then Samus killed him again. So I don't.
Then we have Roidley, you know, but also like it's kind of a different thing because like he wasn't absent ever. He was always in Metroid, like, you know, pretty frequently. But yeah, we got sorry, my kid's trying to mob the stream. Like, dude, you're not ready for live streaming. I'm not either. But yeah, so we got some sort of video to make. I don't even know what to say about this. There's just so much going on. Obviously, like the game looks great. I think there's like, I mean, look at the size of this world. As long as it's not boring to traverse and there's like, you know, just too much, not enough to do, you know, I think we're going to be cooking with this. And as far as rare era stuff and the possibility of our boy coming back, I'm still like, you know, I still think that K. Rool's coming back. If I had to, like, you know, if I were a betting man, I would still say like, yeah, he's probably in the game. Just like the crocodile skeletons, all the crocoid stuff, it's like there's too much in that for it to be a giant coincidence. But if it is, that will be funny in its own, and it's not gonna like ruin my enjoyment of the game. You know, if he's not in, it's like, oh man,
it'll ruin mine. No.
But yeah, there's so much here that I'm more worried about the game just like not being good. But I do think it'll be good. You know, despite what, you know, a lot of the game journos who went to the preview events are not like too hot on this game yet. They're saying they had to see a lot more, so it'll be interesting to see their perspective of the people who've actually played it. It'll be interesting if we get to play it in any case before. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for joining the live stream. I'll check the comments one more time. We got my theory is it is that it's going to be a celebration of Donkey Kong in general. Yeah, with so many characters returning, I think Pauline was sent to the present magically. K. Rool might be in, to be honest. Yeah, I can totally see that. I want to see some like retro era stuff, you know, like it'd be cool if like you have so much room to play with that stuff with how the fossils work and everything. Like I just, you know, I want to find a DK King of Swing reference, you know. That'd be really cool as like this like rebirth of the DK franchise. And then after this, do whatever you want that's new. All right, I think he could be a side villain, but not as the main villain. It's like King Kiro. Yeah, maybe. Secret boss, like you know, I could also see a situation playing out where like K. Rool is functioning kind of like King Dedede, where you clash with him at some point in the story, and then he might like turn around and help you for the final chapter. I might actually even prefer that. I like that Smash Ultimate trailer where Banjo was in, and they were just all like hanging out. Like it was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. But yeah, he's always holding the cell phone. Who's he calling? Because you know he's got his other buddies there with him.
Ring.
He's not gonna call.
Phone.
I'm like, DK wants to eat his phone. That's really funny.
Yeah. I'm probably unpopular opinion, but Rare DK was funnier.
Yeah, I mean it's still nice.
Yeah, it's fine.
I agree with Al's take. It's the two cake theory. This is The Last of Us, but better. Absolutely.
True for a lot of things.
Funky was not shown. We have not seen Funky yet, but like again, they're still holding back. We don't know exactly what Diddy and Dixie do. We know there's some kind of like racing thing, but like that's going to be some kind of Nintendo Today post. We might get you know, some other things like that. You know, they're not done marketing the game. They probably want another surprise or two for before they close up shop and you know, just announce it. You fight the rock that sunk Ingot Isle. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, regardless, we're going to be cooking with a really good game. Donkey Kong is back. This is the coolest thing. Donkey Kong is being given the platform it has deserved for like the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's because Retro is making it. They're like, we don't want to promote that. But like, Donkey Kong has been like pushed under a rock for such a long time. And this is a chance for the franchise to truly like see what it's capable of. This could be a 30 million seller. I think at least 10 million. It's at least going to hit that like Luigi's Mansion level. Will it hit Mario Odyssey or Animal Crossing levels? We'll have to see. But at least it's being given the chance, especially as an early in the system cycle title. Like it has the chance to really scoop up those sales.
Yeah, I do agree about the Mario Kart DLC. By the way, yeah, like if that's not in, it's like a terrible choice by them.
Yeah, K. Rool is in this. The amiibo gave it away. I could see him being a DDD figure, but he feels like the true final boss. Yeah, we'll see. I could see why those who haven't played it yet or aren't sold yet. It seems like a game where you really got to sink in your teeth into. Yeah, I mean it's really dense and it's a different like it's a different kind of game. You know, like on one hand it is a platformer, but it's also just very exploratory. I mean, it's like if Minecraft and Mario had a baby. And that's kind of sick with a lot of influence too from like the PlayStation side. Like that skill tree is like ripped straight out of something like Spider-Man. So I mean, we'll definitely have to see. Def think it ends playing as a giant DK the size of the gods. That'd be a good closing. Or him turning into a crocodile. Huh? Could be that Void Kong finds some ancient ruins at the end to give him powers and turns him into King K. Rool. Yeah, the skill tree blew my mind. Yeah, it's so weird to see that in a Nintendo game. It's so anti-Nintendo, and that's what's so special about this Tokyo team is that they don't play by the Kyoto rules. They kind of do their own thing, and especially I said this before in one of my videos, but I'll say it again. With Mario, there's so many constraints that you still have. Because it's like Nintendo's cash cow, and like there's so many like established things in Mario of like this is what happens when he runs one way and then he turns the other way and then jumps. This is what happens when he XYZ. There's so many things that are established, but they can do whatever they want here. Now they are kind of like beholden to like what's come before with Rare, but it's been so long that they have a lot of freedom to play with. So like let's put a skill tree in there. That'll never get into a Mario game. Famous last words. But here's the gold thing again. It's just like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. That looks like his sleeve. Not his head, but like I don't know. I don't know. More than anything, I'm glad the game distinguishes itself from Odyssey because we didn't want it to be a Mario game. Why'd the Minecraft have to be the anti-gravity wheels are funny. What if the ending is you get to the core, go to the surface and create New Donk City? K. Rool appears and tries to take it over. So I mean that would be a really cool like
Donkey Kong Land reference.
Full loop. Yeah, Donkey Kong Land, and then he has the street named after him. So far we've seen most things that Mario Odyssey. Dixie is playing a prominent role. I was saying that like they even like just having like the Dixie Theater in the live action Mario Odyssey trailer, like that was like a big signal. And of course Diddy's in, no surprise. But yeah, will our boy get in there? That is the question. So stay tuned to the Kong Kompendium. We will be cooking on something. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will be coping with you soon.
Yeah, thanks again everyone. It was a lot of fun. Peace.